Hey YouTube, how's it going? I was thinking today about male feminists. Not the first time that I've had these feelings and thoughts, but I was referred to Nubian tribesmen through Ujima Flipper's channel. And I was watching some of his videos, particularly the one that I'll link you to in the crotch bar. And was struck by some observations really about the power that male feminists can hold politically and socially, I think. And I think for me the impact of a male feminist, as a female feminist, for me, the impact of a male feminist on a sick kind of level is that, I think unconsciously some of the predominant ideas of male intellect being, more respected as more logical and rational. I suppose we could have a whole video debate about, where in society I feel that this, that this message is coming from, but I'm just going to take it as read that most people will agree that men in general are more intellectually respected than women, as a flat basis. So for me as a feminist, to encounter male feminists on a sick level kind of confirms for me that I am observing something logical and rational. But I think that there's much more kind of a much more positive way of looking at this, I think, which is that society generally takes them as more logical and rational, and therefore that feminists can harness that kind of power that a male representative can have to affect the greatest, quickest social change. For me, when I encounter male feminists, I feel like I'm getting a kind of glimpse into the future of man-women relations. And I have this kind of rush of relief that, hopefully eventually we'll probably evolve to this point where we can live in an equal society, where both sexes are kind of represented and fairly treated. And I think that their opinion is much more impactful on other men's opinions. That they're a lot more privy to, I suppose, a boys' club mentality, and they're on the inside, and they can kind of enter these discussions with their male friends when it's a boys' night kind of moment. Are not necessarily obligated to do so, but do have the opportunity to kind of spread these waves of enlightenment into the boys' club. And of course, being privy to that kind of male privilege. Male feminists can potentially affect great political change. If you think about 4/5 of the UK government being male, if there were some feminists amongst them, think how many women's issues could receive the coverage that they deserve, and have change affected. Also, those are the men say if male managers and I suppose just men generally had an interest in supporting women's access to politics and powerful careers, much faster change could be affected. And there is this element, I think, that should be respected about male feminists, which is that they're willing to forfeit male privilege in order to stand by the principle that these issues that affect women are important and should be dealt with. Which is fantastic, and I think that's part of being a socialist for me. I feel ready to forfeit white privilege to fight anti-racists, to fight the cause of anti-racism. So I feel that it's kind of I respect when I see that in men willing to forfeit male privilege for female benefit, and I think that's really part of the socialist mentality generally, loving everyone, feeling that everyone deserves a fair shot and an equal playing field. And I think that whilst there are many feminists that feel that women should be a bit more isolationists currently, to affect an equal future for both sexes, I kind of think that it's necessary to build that stable system for the future with male involvement, and for both male and female interests to be represented in the building of that system to ensure that it's stable and fair. and that brings up all its own kind of problems. But I suppose I wanted to salute male feminists. And finally, I think that male feminists are subject to their own special kind of prejudice, whereas, roughly the same kind of prejudice, but in a mirror way. Whereas women that are feminists are subjected to being considered manly, unattractive, etc. I think male feminists are thought to be pussy whipped and subservient to women. And I think that it takes a particular kind of strong will and intellectual confidence to stand up as a man and say, no, I consider myself to be a feminist. And if you want to enter a discussion with me, I'll explain to you why I consider myself to be a feminist. And if you just want to throw gendered insults at me, then you're clearly lacking the intelligence to debate. Rock on, male feminists, is my point. And thank you for your involvement. And I hope you're all well. Have a good one.